Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Algo, aka Algorand. As we look at Algo today, I think that this is one of the most negative assets essentially, because a lot of people have been spreading FUD. A lot of people have been talking negatively about Algorand, thinking that it's dead, it's going to zero, it's never coming back, this, that. And it has been a rough time for Algo. I mean, ever since the new year to now, it has been rough. A lot of people thought that we were only going to tap down to like the March 2020 levels, but we completely went below those. We came down to just recently almost 9 cents. I think it was slightly under 9 cents. And I think that that was one of the biggest opportunities, honestly. I think that anything under 10 cents on Algo is a huge opportunity. Of course, that's my opinion. But we will talk about why I still think that Algorand is a huge opportunity in this space. But as we look at the price chart, I think that it's great that we are reclaiming around 10 cents. I would personally like to see us reclaim above this zone that I have labeled out on the chart. Breaking over 12 cents would be a big opportunity for Algorand just to kind of regain some strength and momentum. I would like to see us flip this March 2020 level just to kind of see how strong Algorand could become and if we could flip that level into support and maintain it. Of course, this will show great strength on Algorand's part, but again, we have to be patient. We have to make sure that we are not, just trying to buy anything just because it's low. We have to be patient on a lot of these assets. And as we look at Algorand, like I said, it lost $1 billion in market cap. Fully diluted, it's about $1 billion. But overall, as we look at Algorand today, I think that it's still probably one of the most, when we look over on Twitter, I should say, a lot of people think that's the most bearish asset right now, which I like to see because I don't like to buy into things that, people are heavily, saying like, oh, look at it's, going, it's flying, it's doing this, whatever. I like to buy fear and I like to buy when things don't look too good. Going all the way back to November of 2022, it was a great opportunity to buy anything really. Again, outside of Algorand, because if you were buying in November, well, hey, you are down significantly. But most altcoins during November into December, it was a great buy opportunity. I think Algorand was a little bit of a lagger, if you will. I think that currently speaking, as we looked at the price chart of Algorand, I think that there were some great opportunities out there for Algo. And the reason why is simply because we still are seeing incredible growth for Algorand. I mean, one of the biggest things that I look at is the number of accounts, because accounts are growing. This is just over 1,000 Algorands. As you guys do see this year, it has been absolutely, getting killed in terms of people buying it and holding over 1,000 Algorands. And even all time, you could see this growing astronomically. But year to date, even if we go to over 10K, over 100K, over 1 million, this one has been slightly stable. Nothing too crazy about that. I think that this really kind of topped back in 2022. Since then, it really kind of diminished a little bit, but has been slightly increasing during 2023 from like around April to now. In terms of over 10 million, it has been decreasing slightly. It's interesting to see this because these are like whale wallets. You could see the whale wallets, and this is all time, by the way. And even year to date, you could see that the whale wallets just recently took a massive hit, going from 17 back in June to just 9 recently. But for the most part, a lot of the, other ones like 1 million, 100K, 10K, and even 1K, these have been growing astronomically. And the total accounts themselves have been growing as well. I mean, year to date, if we go all the way back to January, we were sitting at about roughly 29.4 million almost. Sitting right now, almost 32 point, roughly almost 4 million. And if you look at the all-time chart, this thing has been growing, like I've said. So again, in terms of the total accounts, in terms of, the number of accounts holding significant amounts of Algo, they have been growing. And this shows that there is also other confidence levels around the space, meaning, those that are willing to hold 100,000 Algo, well, this has been growing year to date. So that's very exciting. And even in the last week, you can kind of see the growth as well, which means people have been buying. Now, outside of this, another thing that I like to look at is TVL, which means, guess what? There's people locking value on Algorand. Recently, not so much, right? But if we go to the past couple months, this has been slightly stable. But just recently, we've seen back in July, sitting at about roughly 78.24 million, all the way to today, sitting at about roughly 103.2 million. and the active users in the last 24 hours has been about roughly 17,000, which is still very good. And you can see where most of the TVL is coming from. Folks Finance has been the number one. Lofty, which we will be talking about and addressing in this video, is number two, sitting at about roughly 25.47 million, which is great. And listen, you know, all of these chains have seen significant drops in TVL in the past, simply because, hey, we are in a bear market. There's not a lot of people locking up assets. You will see a lot of people locking assets during a bull run, which is probably not the best time to be locking assets. But hey, retail is retail. It's as simple as that. But if we scroll down the list, Algorand is sitting at number 26. Not too bad compared to most. But outside of this, I still believe that we are going to see a significant amount of TVL heading into the bull run, right? In the beginning, you'll start to see a lot more growth within that area. We'll start to see a lot more users as well. I mean, 16,000, almost 17,000 users in the last 24 hours is not too bad at all. You can also see the 7-day growth here. So 7-day span, we have started to see some nice growth on a few of these levels. Decentralized exchanges on Algorand growing a little bit here. Nothing too crazy in terms of TVL, like almost $10,000. Nothing too crazy there. But we started to see some more money flowing into the decentralized exchanges. I mean, this one, for example, Tiny Man, 12% growth, $7.15 million. And Folks Finance also seen about 6.25% growth, which is great. Outside of this, like I said, going all the way back, this is 2021, all right? This is where we did see Lofty AI announce a partnership to provide a marketplace for tokenized real estate within Algorand. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know how much I love tokenized real estate. First and foremost, real estate outside of tokenization and outside of crypto is a great opportunity for anyone that does have wealth and wants to preserve wealth and also build even greater wealth long term. But nonetheless, as we look at Lofty AI and tokenization of real estate, I think that tokenization of real estate is going to be a big opportunity simply because of the liquidity that it opens and also the opportunity that it opens for individuals that don't have a lot of money to invest. But the tokens are 100% liquid and can be sold anytime for no fees or penalties. Investors receive daily rental income starting on the first day they invest, and tokens appreciate in value on a monthly basis as the properties appreciate as well. So this is a great opportunity. Outside of that, we know Lofty has been killing it. This has been a great opportunity for anyone to really kind of look into tokenization of real estate. It's a big opportunity, like I've said. You know, I think that as we really kind of look at what's happening around the tokenization of real estate market and aspect, it's probably one of the most exciting, because I think that this is where a lot of adoption is going to happen. And you could read more about Lofty if you guys do want to. They've been featured pretty much everywhere that you can guess. They have some great backers, and their team comes from some significant levels of expertise. And of course, they do utilize Algorand. And it's no surprise there on why they use it. And like I said, Lofty has been killing it. If we actually look at the TVL here, because if we scroll, let me just go to TVL itself. $25 million is no joke. So Lofty has been killing it. And like I said, you can look at the marketplace. You can look at everything on here. I know that this takes a little bit of time to load, but hey, this is what you are looking at right now. This is tokenization real estate. So incredible levels of interest here around tokenization of real estate. Outside of that, we've also seen this get spotlighted in the Federal Reserve's tokenization overview and financial stability implications PDF file. And if we scroll down to Lofty, so it got mentioned 9 times. Here's the first time that they mentioned it. So we do see Lofty is a platform that provides the ability to fractionally own U.S. rental properties through the Algorand blockchain. They operate very similarly to Realty, where properties are transferred from sellers to Lofty by placing each property under the independent LLC, and membership shares of the LLC are tokenized. The returns from holding these tokens come from rental income and property appreciation. It is unlikely that there would be an option to redeem, as the reference asset is a legal claim to the returns generated by the token, not the property itself. Now, down here, they also just mentioned the documents, and that's pretty much it. But they also mention a few things around some other great opportunities within the space that we've kind of addressed and talked a little bit about as well. But outside of that, Lofty was one that got spotlighted alongside all of these big players, which again, it's not like, hey, look at the Federal Reserve is going to utilize Algorand or anything like that. No, but I think that it's great to see these things being mentioned because it just proves how significant they are and how disruptive this market is actually becoming, which is, again, another big reason why I say, like, focus on tokenization of real world assets, including real estate, because it's a big opportunity. But also, if we look at the Algorand ecosystem, which I did outline in my past previous videos, the ecosystem has been growing astronomically. I mean, first off, there's been a lot of grants awarded to building out DeFi, art, music, gaming, things like that, which, I think gets overlooked in this space. Like, these funds, a lot of people think like, oh, look at, they're just selling tokens openly. Like, a lot of the tokens that do get released and, even sold, or maybe they get transferred, a lot of it is to fund the ecosystem, which this is not negative. You might see a negative price inflection initially, but long term, this is how you create value. It's as simple as that. Like, putting $14 million into a DeFi fund, that's a big deal. Outside of this, you also have money in art and music. You have money in gaming. You have money in bridging and oracles and the infrastructure. And a lot of these already provide value. Like I've said, even if we go back up to the DeFi one, right? Like, you could see some of the players that were tied to this. A lot of these, like Tiny Man, for an example, are already creating tons of TVL, and like Folks Finance as well, they're already creating tons of value on Algorand. Now, outside of that, I also do want to let you guys know that recently the Algorand Foundation joined the Open Wallet Foundation, an open source project advancing digital identity, access, and payments across industries. We're excited to join Microsoft, Google, Visa, and more to accelerate innovation and standards for digital wallets and payments. Our principal architect shares that the foundation is thrilled to support the development and scaling of enterprise-level Web3 applications in our diverse ecosystem. We recognize the ongoing significance of defining, contributing, and adopting interoperable standards. Again, there's levels to this, right? Like, this is what you want to see. Although prices might not reflect it, and again, like, the retail sector will be terrified to buy anything once it creates a new lower low. But usually, this is probably one of the best areas to be looking into an asset, even if it's not going heavy, because again, confidence is a little bit lower. But these are some of the levels that you want to be looking into assets. And like I said, there's a few levels on the upside that I would like to be flipped before saying like, all right, well, look at Algorand is back. But if you follow all of the information, if you actually look at a few of the things happening behind the scenes, then you can kind of see like Algorand is no joke, right? Like, they're here to build, they're here to make significant waves in the space. Could we create a new all-time high? It's still possible, yes. A lot of people think that we will. Going all the way back in time to historical snapshots, like Algorand had almost a 13 billion, or I should say almost like a $12 billion market cap, $12.4 billion in market cap. And again, their circulating supply did increase. Their circulating supply at that time was about like 6.2 billion. We know today it's about almost 8 billion. Nothing too crazy. This is 2021 versus 2023, so a 2-year difference. Supply ratio, like 10 billion supply. That's not a ton of supply versus like some of the other top 10 giants. But going off that market cap, we're looking at like a 15x. A 15x return is nothing small. Listen, a lot of people undermine like a 15x or a 10x return. Like, a 10x return is a big return. Again, could Algorand go significantly higher? Sure, it could. I mean, listen, if we look back at the statistics, we know that the all-time high 4 years ago, back in 2019, which again, like, this is going off of 2019's price back here. I more so look at like this level here, which was September 12th. Don't know if I can get September 12th. Let me see if I could see September 12th just to kind of see what the price was. So yeah, we actually can. So it was about $2 and almost 38 cents. If we're going off of that, the market cap would have to be roughly, don't know why this is not changing. There we have it. So $18.6 billion. Let me ask you this. Is it crazy to think that Algorand could get to almost $20 billion in market cap? In my opinion, I don't think so, right? Like, we already know how big Algorand was in the past, or in 2021, everyone wanted to really kind of jump into Algorand, or a lot of people were even raving about Algorand over on Twitter as well. During this next bull run, I think that the utility giants are going to be the ones that really kind of steal the spotlight, and Algorand is a big one. I think that Algorand is still a significant project in the space. I think that far too many people were extremely bearish on it. I mean, hey, a 22x return on Algorand. If we do get to that all-time high number yet again, we're sitting at about roughly 18.6 billion, significant, increase from the 12.4 billion that we've seen. Or I think that during this time, this is a different all-time high. So we were sitting at about like 12 point almost 5. I mean, you're looking at a difference of roughly $6 billion. I don't think that that's too crazy to think of. And, even if we go beyond that, I've seen a lot of people talking about like a $50 billion market cap, $75 billion. It's possible. Dogecoin hit almost $100 billion. It all depends on how much traction Algorand gets. So with that in mind, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though. If you did enjoy the video, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Peace out.